The Affine filter in Affinity Photo allows you to create seamless images, which you can then use as patterns in your other documents or export for use in 3D work. Before we do anything, however, we'll just move across to the Layers panel. Now, I've added a simple brightness and contrast adjustment above my image here, so I just need to make sure I have the background pixel layer selected. There is also a preliminary step you will want to take if your textures need to be in a power of 2 format. Using the crop tool, which we can select with C on the keyboard, we will click the presets option here and choose the 1:1 ratio. We can then click apply, and we need to go to Layer, Rasterize and Trim. Cropping in Affinity Photo is non-destructive by default, but we need to actually discard all of the information outside of our current crop, which is what Rasterize and Trim does. Now we can move on. Again, you only need to worry about doing this beforehand if your exported image needs to be in a square power of 2 format. Let's go to Filters, Distort, and Affine. On the Affine dialog here, we want to focus on the X and Y offset options. Let's set both to 50% and click Apply. You'll notice we now have some very obvious seams, so our goal is to retouch these and produce a seamless texture. To start with, we'll try some basic inpainting. Let's use the rectangular marquee tool for this. So we'll just drag out an initial selection over the horizontal seam in the image. Then we'll hold Control on Mac or Control and Alt on Windows and click drag to add to this selection. So now we'll make a selection of the vertical seam. Now that we've selected the areas with the seams, we can go to Edit and Inpaint. Okay, now we can deselect using Command D on Mac, Control D on Windows, and this will give us a basic starting point. It could use some improvement in a few areas, so let's zoom in and have a detailed look. We have some repetition here, so we're going to retouch using the Clone Brush tool, which is on the Tools panel here, or you can select it using S on the keyboard. So before doing any cloning, I will increase my brush width and also take the hardness all the way down to 0%. Then to use this tool, we can Option click on Mac or Alt click on Windows to sample an area, then click drag over another area to clone from the sampled area. I just want to have a look around my image and clone over any areas that look like obvious repetition or that might have some blurring as a result of the initial inpainting that we performed. Okay, we perhaps have an area here to tackle. And we just have some repetition up here as well. Once we have a result we're happy with, we can test it to ensure it is seamless. So to do this, we can go back to Filters, Distort, and Affine. Then on the dialog here, we can move the offset sliders. And in doing so, if you don't notice any seams, then the retouching has been successful. To get back to the initial positioning of the image, we can reverse the offset we applied in the first place. So for offset X and offset Y, we just want to use -50. Now our image is ready to export. We could, for example, go to File and Export and choose TGA for certain game engines. Don't forget to resample the document to a suitable power of 2 resolution if this is required. I'll use 2048 by 2048 as an example. And there we go, a quick look at creating seamless textures in Affinity Photo. Thank you for watching.